Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Yesterday, January 5th, 2016, President Obama gave a 30-plus minute speech speaking to the mass shootings that have been reported in the last several years during the time of his administration. In this video, I'm going to address every single shooting he brought up, showing that they were all propaganda sponsored by the federal government. I'm also going to address his town hall that he's having tomorrow, January 7th, hosted by CNN and Anderson Cooper, who has been one of the shills in the media deceiving we the people with the ongoing propaganda surrounding these fake shootings. The mainstream media said that Obama's speech yesterday was 33 minutes. I watched it myself. From beginning to end, it's 36 minutes, but I didn't count the gaps where he gets standing applause. His actual speaking time very well might have been 33 minutes. Remember, though, the media loves to put this number before our eyes. This is the number of the psychological operations. And if you are not woken up to the truth yet about television and news programming, it is a fact that our mainstream media is an active, ongoing military psychological operations. The media serves no beneficial purpose to any of us in this nation. All it reports on are lies, propaganda, and programming. In our own U.S. Army Field Manual, Rule 33-1 is the Psychological Operations Program, which is any form of communication in support of objectives designed to influence the opinions, emotions, attitudes, or behavior of any group in order to benefit the sponsor either directly or indirectly. In that definition, we the people are the group that are the target, and the sponsor is the federal government, which uses this propaganda to grow its stranglehold over we the people. In the post 9/11 agenda, our government has been growing the police state. Police, instead of looking like officers that we're used to from decades past, now often are wearing military fatigues, holding military rifles, driving armored vehicles down the street. And the saddest part of it all is that there is no real threat. They're creating perception by changing the way officers look, by changing the way their vehicles are. It's all about mental psychological control. The only real threat is the federal government, who we are giving more and more power to by going along with this agenda, not speaking out against it, not doing what we can to stop it. So anyhow, in the rest of this video, we're going to address every single shooting hoax that he brought up. We're also going to talk more about the town hall tomorrow. Notice the date he gave this speech yesterday, a date with 42 numerology, 42 a number of the Freemasons. When Obama first became president, he reopened Ford's Theater on the 42nd day of the year. That was February 11th, 2009. Not only was it the 42nd day of the year, it was a date with 42 numerology that year. 42 is also a number negatively stamped on black Americans. I don't think it's any coincidence that Obama was reopening Ford's Theater where Lincoln was shot to death by an actor in a theater, Obama being from the land of Lincoln. If you haven't seen my videos on the assassinations of the Kennedys, Lincoln, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., please check those out. All men were assassinated by the same numerological code. What I reveal in exposing this propaganda is that it is all done by a numerological code. Why? Because the Freemasons operate this way. It is the Freemasons and Zionists who have a stranglehold on our government. Some people listening also want me to say Jesuits. Fine, the Jesuits as well. Really, all these things are interrelated, though. With regards to the number 42, when you write it out as a word, it sums to 142, just like President Obama. Yesterday, he had the crocodile tears for the false shooting. In the beginning of his speech, these are the shootings he names. And there have been many more, but these are the ones he brought up. Fort Hood, Binghamton, Tucson, Aurora, Oak Creek, Newtown, Navy Yard, Santa Barbara, Charleston, San Bernardino. There's about 50 more to add on to that list. I've already covered them on this video channel. I've already covered them on this written blog. But we're going to go through all the ones that he brought up for the sake of being thorough and for the sake of exposing the lies. When Obama cried yesterday during the speech, the word he repeated several times before the tears came out was first graders. First graders has a gematria of 144. 144 is a number of assassination. He was talking about the Newtown Sandy Hook first graders who were supposedly killed by Adam Lanza, December 14th, 2012. Obama's the 44th president. When you write out 44, it sums to 144. These numbers show up around assassination again and again. The last president to die in office was John F. Kennedy, the 44th term president. He was the 35th president overall. The word Catholic equals 35. He was the only Catholic president. Anyhow, JFK, 44th term president, was assassinated on the first day of Sagittarius, which has gematria of 144. His brother would die years later at 1:44 in the morning, also dying by the numbers. The name Robert Kennedy equals 66. The name Sirhan equals 66. He died June 6th at 1:44 in the morning. Every single presidential assassination from Lincoln to JFK, even ones that supposedly died of natural causes, they all died by these same numbers, 44 and 144. It's no coincidence that he was repeating first graders. I'm pretty sure the final act of these ongoing shooting psychological operations will be the fake assassination of the 44th president. The writing is on the wall. The narrative's really building up, especially with all the fake Secret Service lapse stories. What's interesting to note also is that from the date of Sandy Hook until yesterday, the date of his speech where he cried for the first time as president, they're saying the most emotional moment of his presidency was a span of 3 years and 22 days. 322, the number of the Masonic Order Skull and Bones, a number that we're going to talk about more as we go through these shooting hoaxes that he validated yesterday, as he's validated so many times before. So tomorrow, he's having this town hall with CNN and Anderson Cooper, some of the biggest propagandists out there, some of the most treasonous individuals living in this nation. Pretty much everyone in mainstream media and in our federal government are all treasonous tyrants. The date of the town hall tomorrow, a date with 44 numerology. What else for the 44th president? And what's concerning about this date, there's a number of things, Truth Seeker. Notice that it's also 1-7. The word kill in simple English gematria is 44. The word kill in Pythagorean gematria is 17. This is also a date with 17 numerology. If you just add 1 plus 7 plus 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 6, that sums to 17. So this is a date with double kill numerology. And we're talking about the 44th president. Numbers that also show up around assassination all the time are 33. JFK was shot in Dealey Plaza, named after a 33rd degree Freemason. The Zapruder film that came out years later showing the death was made by a 33rd degree Freemason, Zapruder, 33rd degree Freemason. Again, check out those videos if you have not already. They're calling this the Obama Town Hall. Obama Town Hall has gematria of 47, just like the word president. And in simple English gematria, Obama Town Hall equals 137, which is the 33rd prime number. Washington, D.C. equals 137. Federal equals 33. 137, the 33rd prime number. Federal equals 33. Washington, D.C., the headquarters of the federal government. CNN for their ticker all day kept up 33 minutes. No coincidence. All these shooting hoaxes heavily coded with 33, the number of the psychological operations, all part of this federal ongoing agenda. So the first hoax that Obama brought up was Fort Hood. Fort Hood, very familiar gematria, 47. Number of president, also words such as obey, authority, judge, gavel, mafia. Special number, the Zionist state of Israel. established in the year 47. No coincidence. Fort Hood also equals 101, like the word assassin. This is a story of a military assassin killing his fellow soldiers. Fitting title for a place to do killing. Fort happens to have gematria 59. In Jewish gematria, the word kill equals 59. They said that this shooting, Fort Hood, the first one, ended at 1:44 p.m. Remember this number of assassination. Killing has gematria of 74, like Masonic. The shooter's name was Nadal, having gematria of 74. The base Fort Hood is in Killeen, Texas, which has gematria of 137, the 33rd prime number. Remember, federal agenda, Washington, D.C., 137. That was the first of the shootings there. Forgot to mention that killer in Jewish gematria also equals 144. No wonder it shows up so much around assassination. The second shooting in Fort Hood happened April 2nd, 2014. Notice the 42, 42 like Freemason. Obama just gave a speech on a date with 42 numerology. The first thing he brought up was the Fort Hood shootings. This shooter's name was Lopez, another name with 74 gematria. No coincidence. Masonic, again, equals 74. All this is put on by the Freemasons. He was 34 years old. The word murder has a gematria of 34. His full name, Ivan Lopez, in Pythagorean gematria equals 48, like hoax and propaganda. None of these stories are real. They're all propaganda. They're all coded with numbers of significance, numbers that represent the Freemasons. The next shooting he brought up was the Binghamton shootings, which happened April 3rd, 2009. April 3rd is the 93rd day of the year. The word propaganda equals 93. In the recent Charleston church shooting, which was a hoax, the shooter's birthday was April 3rd. We'll talk more about it. Date with interesting numerology of 36. If you sum 1 through 36, it totals 666. This was in New York. New York in English gematria equals 666. Also a date with 18 numerology, the number that factors into 6 plus 6 plus 6. Also a date with 16 numerology, one of only two words when written out that connects to 33. Also 42 and 96, the numbers of Freemason. They said the shooting began or ended at 10:33. Drop the 0, which doesn't count numerology. You're left with 133. Government equals 133. Another number that often shows up. Plus there's that 33 there. 33. They said the shooter's name was Jiverly and Therese Wong. A very suspicious name. Jiverly equals 38, like the word death. And Therese has the gematria of 33. The whole name has gematria of 94, the reflection of 49, another important number in New York, which we'll talk about. In simple English gematria, the name sums to 101, like assassin, like Fort Hood. Wong equals 59, the kill number in Jewish gematria, like fort. There's going to be a lot of redundancies here as we go through this. Binghamton has gematria of 49. Remember, the shooter's name was 94. Revelation has gematria of 49. Everything about New York, from its name to its establishment date, all connects back to Revelation. I have long video posts on this. Please check them out. This whole nation built on the book of Revelation. If you read Revelation, the numbers 7 and 4 are used again and again. Important numbers to the Masons, important numbers to this nation, which has a July 4th birthday. Binghamton, New York also equals 88, like poison and program. One of those multiples of 11. They said they killed 14 people. The word dead equals 14. Stories by the numbers.